do these all things.
Yeah, it is started ma'am now.
Yes. Okay. So the two words that are pende or pende plus two cos. Okay. Pende means, what is the meaning of pende? Can you tell what is the meaning of pende?
5.
5.
Okay. Okay. 5. Then two cos. What is the meaning of two cos?
Books or
Scrolls.
scrolls.
Yes, scrolls or volumes. Okay, scrolls. Okay, so Pentateuch means 5 scrolls. Okay, 5 scrolls. Or we can say that it is a 5-fold book. 5-fold book. So we already, discussed that in Pentateuch we see, God's gradual revelation to humanity. Right? We already discussed last class. Pentateuch is the book in which we see the beginning of God's gradual revelation to humanity. Right? Okay. Then what are the other things we studied last class? Significance of Pentateuch, right? We studied some points. Right or not? Somebody please respond.
Yes, right.
Yeah. Okay. So before that, we already discussed that the other names of Pentateuch. What are the other names of Pentateuch? In Hebrew, what is the name of Pentateuch? In Hebrew?
Torah.
Yes, Torah. Right. Torah means law. Okay. Then other names we already discussed last week.
5 scrolls. 5
5 scrolls. Pentateuch.
5 folds. Torah, the law, Pentateuch.
Then some of the other name also we discussed. Law of Moses. Right.
Moses
Yes.
5 books.
The book. Yes, the book of the Law of Moses. Did we discuss that? The names of Pentateuch?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, we can now discuss these 5 points. What are the significance of Pentateuch? So the first significance is that it lays the foundation for understanding the entire Bible, both OT and NT. The Pentateuch is the book which gives or which lays the foundation for understanding entire Bible. As a beginner, when we come to study a Bible, or suppose when we build a home, first what we do, we should put the foundation. Otherwise, we cannot build the house nicely, right? Like that, when we come for study Bible, Pentateuch is must to read, understand, study, because it lays foundation for understanding the entire Bible of both ND and OT. We already discussed. Did you understand? Akshay, Daniel, then Abhishek, Robi.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because if you have any doubt, please ask. Okay,
Yes.
we have a short time.
Yes.
So
Yes,
when
yes.
I repeat things again and again, we will lose our time. We have only few weeks. Then what is the second point? Pentateuch introduces some key theological themes, right? Some of the key theological themes Pentateuch introducing to us. That key themes are God, man, creation, covenant, salvation, then fall, sin, redemption, law, atonement, etc. These are some of the key theological themes which we can see in or the Pentateuch introduces to us. The theological themes are God, man, creation, covenant, atonement, salvation, fall, sin, redemption, law. These are the themes we first see Pentateuch, right? Right or not?
Right, ma'am. Right.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Okay, what is the third point? Somebody please tell
Pentateuch
what is
Provides an outline of God's
for God's redemptive plan for humanity.
okay. Pentateuch is an account of God's redemptive plan for humanity. Right? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the third point is Pentateuch provides an outline, not a big story, but it gives an outline for understanding God's redemptive plan for humanity. In Pentateuch, we see, Pentateuch starting with the creation, then sin or fall of humanity. Then we see the establishment of the covenant, God's covenant with the people. So we see that an outlet for God's redemptive plan for humanity. Understood? Okay, then next point. Remember, next point.
It gives the historical context of understanding the origin and beginning of
Yes,
historical
provides the
context of understanding the origin, emergence and development of Israel.
So in this Pentateuch, or through the Pentateuch, or Pentateuch lays a context, historical context for understanding the Israel, how the Israel became a nation, how was their origin. These are the things we can understand through Pentateuch. That historical context, how they become a nation, how was their origin. That historical context, this Pentateuch provides to us. Are you understanding? Okay, is there any doubt? Please ask.
Historical context too?
It gives the historical context for understanding the emergence or the origin and development of Israel as a nation. How Israel emerged, how their development happened as a nation. These are the things this Pentateuch provides, or that historical context it provides to us. Okay, Akshay, Daniel, Abhishek, are you getting?
Yes, ma'am. We are getting.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
is there
Yes, we are getting.
Okay. Roby, what about Roby? Roby is there or not? Your video is off.
Ma'am, I'm here, but my network some problem is there. While I open video, the network is going.
Okay, are you understanding? Are you getting? Okay. Then next one. Next point, what? What is the next point?
Foundation of New Testament.
Yes. Pentateuch provides foundation to understand New Testament. How? How it gives or it lays a foundation for New Testament.
Because of their narratives and they expand New Testament echoes.
Okay. So, Pastor Saab, did you understand that point? Well,
The foundation of the New Testament because many things narrative concept in that.
Okay, without, without reading, can you please, tell what is that point says? Explain. Can you explain? Very easy. So,
Offensive.
so
Offensive.
no. Okay, excuse me. Once, okay, pardon. Pastor Sabu, ഈ പോയിന്റ് ഒന്ന് എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമോ? താങ്കൾക്ക് അത് മനസ്സിലായോ? പാസ്റ്ററിന് അത് മനസ്സിലായോ? ആ പോയിന്റ് എന്താ പറയുന്നത്? ഓക്കെ, അതായത് പുതിയ നിയമം മനസ്സിലാക്കുവാനുള്ള ഒരു ഫൗണ്ടേഷൻ ഈ പെന്റാറ്റൂക്ക് നമുക്ക് തരുന്നു. എങ്ങനെ തരുന്നു? പഴയ നിയമത്തിൽ കാണുന്ന പല തീംസിന്റെയും ഒരു വികസിത രൂപം, ഒരു എക്സ്പാൻഡഡ് വേർഷൻ നമുക്ക് പുതിയ നിയമത്തിൽ കാണാം. ഓക്കെ, അതേഴ്സ് പ്ലീസ് എക്സ്ക്യൂസ് മീ. ഓക്കെ, സോ
expanded for humility of Old Testament.
yes, we already written that many themes, narratives, concepts present in Pentateuch are echoed and expanded in New Testament. Okay, Pentateuch lays a foundation for understanding New Testament. How it lays an understanding for understand New Testament? How? Because the main concepts, main themes, and narratives which we see in Pentateuch are echoed and expanded in New Testament. For example, Exodus, we see the story of Israel or their redemption. Right? When we come to New Testament, we see that redemption's expanded version, which means in Pentateuch we see an outline. But when we come to New Testament, we see in Exodus, we see the redemption of only Israel people. But when we come to New Testament, we see redemption of whole humanity. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you getting? Sorry?
Yes, ma'am, we got the point.
Okay. Others got the point. Any doubt? Donna, any doubt?
Ma'am, your voice is getting, I don't know if it is just for me. It is getting disrupted. It's not clear. But this point is clear, but I'm not able to hear you properly. Is that
Okay, maybe.
only for me or everyone?
Me also.
Yes, I am also getting the voice is not that voice.
Okay,
ഇടയ്ക്ക്
maybe.
കട്ട് ആവുന്നുണ്ട് മുറിഞ്ഞു മുറിഞ്ഞ
Yes.
അത് എല്ലാരും കൂടെ അത് മൈക്ക് ഓൺ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ
മൈക്ക് ഓൺ ചെയ്ത
എല്ലാവരും മൈക്ക് ഓൺ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഇത് വരും.
So maybe there will be, there is a net, problem because now we have rain.
Okay.
Okay, what is the other point? Okay, next point is Pentateuch provides some insights into lives of early Israelites. Pentateuch provides some understanding about early Israel people, their struggles, their relationship with the God, That all things we can understand through Pentateuch. Okay, it provides some insights into the lives of Israel people, their struggles, their relationship with the God, then their redemption. That all things we can understand through Pentateuch. I think you got that point. The next point is Pentateuch gives an understanding about the next God. Pentateuch gives,
Excuse me, madam. Provides some insights into the life of Israel people, relationship with the God struggle, that all to contemporary people of God.
that is, along with this, we can understand that Pentateuch offers some lessons for contemporary readers. Means contemporary readers means
Readers are the leaders are readers.
no reader.
Oh, sorry.
Reader, not leader.
To contemporary people of God now. To contemporary
No, contemporary
people of
readers. Those. Oh, so I can say that not only contemporary readers for all, Pentateuch gives some lessons for all the people, those who read Pentateuch. Not only for the contemporary readers, for all. Okay, please tell me how this Pentateuch gives a lesson to us or the contemporary readers. How it will give a lesson.
Israel
Many things
lifestyle.
are there. So Israel,
Lifestyle.
yeah, lifestyle that we can understand. But I am asking some lessons, some life lessons. It gives.
when they disobeys God or when they leave the Almighty God and serve other gods, then they will get punishment, and then with that
Yes.
punishment they will come back again. That one.
Okay.
Yes. So
Okay, very
that's sometime also, if we leave God or we give priority more than this God, or we give
Yes.
priority
Okay.
where in the things, then we
Yes.
will get like that punishment.
Okay. Okay, Susan, thank you. Very good. So many things we can understand. When we read 10 commandments, 10 commandments God has given to Israel people. But for us, it is applicable, right? So God says to them, do not kill. That is only, are you think that is only applicable for Israel people, not for us? No, it is applicable for them, us also, right? Killing is a sin, right? We cannot take life of others, right? We can't, right? So there are many lessons, life lessons. What Susan says, if we disobey God, God will punish us, right? God's wrath will come upon us. These all things are life lessons. Pentateuch gives many life lessons to us, right? Are you understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then the last point. Okay. Then the next point. Pentateuch provides understanding about the nature of God, right? Last class we already discussed many natures of God. What are the nature of God? We can understand through Pentateuch.
Mercy, love, justice, peace.
Yes, many are there. Mercy, love, justice, then faithfulness, then what? Then God is a God who punishes, right?
Yeah.
God's wrath.
Yeah.
Then God's provision.
Covenant keeping God.
Yes, covenant keeping God. Then God is a God who gives promises to us. Right. There are many natures we can understand through Pentateuch. Right. Then last point. What is the last point?
Pentateuch foreshadows of the Jesus as the Messiah.
Yes. Pentateuch foreshadows coming of Jesus as Messiah. So through Pentateuch, we can understand that we can understand the coming Jesus as Messiah. So I already said the last class. Pentateuch portrays Isaac as Jesus. Then Elias, yes, Eliezer as the Holy Spirit. Abraham as the
Rebecca.
Father. Yes,
Rebecca.
Father the God. Yes, Rebecca as the church. Right. So Pentateuch foreshadowing the coming Jesus as Messiah. Okay. Are you getting?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yes. Now these are the things we discussed last class. Akshay, then others, Abhishek, then Daniel, Robbie. These are the things last class we discussed. So now we are going to study authorship of Pentateuch. Okay, authorship of Pentateuch. Okay. What about your understanding? Who is the author of Pentateuch? What do you believe?
Moses.
Yes, Moses. So, both Christian and Jewish tradition ascribe Moses as the author of Pentateuch. Okay. Traditionally, it is believed that Moses as the author of Pentateuch. This is the traditional belief. So there are evidence which gives proof Moses as the author of Pentateuch. Okay. So there are internal evidence and external evidence. Okay. There are internal evidence and external evidence. So internal evidence means evidences which we can see from Bible. Okay. Internal evidence means the evidences which we can see from Bible. External evidence means outside the Bible. Evidences which we can see outside the Bible. Are you getting? Okay. So Nishu, please tell me what are the two evidences for authorship of Moses?
Internal evidence or external evidences.
Okay. Jacob, please tell me what is the internal evidence? What does it mean? Internal evidence.
It is through the Bible.
Yes, it is through Bible or from Bible. Then Asha, please tell me.
Outside.
Yes, okay. I supposed to ask to Asha. Okay, no problem. Okay, internal evidence. We can see internal evidence from Bible. Internal evidence means evidences we can see from Bible. So from Bible, we can see different statements. Okay, different statements. First one is direct statement from Pentateuch. Direct statements from Pentateuch. in internal evidence. The first is direct statements from Pentateuch. Okay, can you please read Exodus chapter 13, 14? Sorry, 17, 14. So, Exodus chapter 17, 14.
So
Somebody
Moses
please
cried
read.
out to the Lord, saying,
Hmm.
What shall I do with these people? They are almost ready to stone me.
17,
17,
14.
14.
17, 14.
So then the Lord said to Moses, Write this for a memorial in the book and recount in the hearing of Joshua, that I will utterly blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven.
Okay, you see this word? Lord said to Moses that write this on a scroll as something to be remembered. Okay, so God said to Moses, write down these things. Okay, so we can understand Moses wrote something as per instruction of God. Right?
Yes.
Yes. Are you getting?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, Abhishek, are you getting?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Asha?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you. This is the one words which gives an understanding about Moses or the from Pentateuch itself. Okay, Exodus 17, 14. Can you please read Numbers 33, chapter 33, verse 2. Numbers chapter 33, verse 2.
Which verse, ma'am?
2. Numbers
Now
chapter
Moses
33,
wrote down the starting points of their journeys at the command of the Lord, and these are their journeys according to their starting points.
enough. Okay. Did you see that verse 2 others? Yes. Okay. So here also it says that at the Lord's command, Moses wrote or recorded stages in their journey. You see, Moses wrote something, right? Are you getting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then one more
Yes,
word.
yes.
Please read fast. Okay. Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 9. Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 9.
So Moses wrote this law and delivered it to the priests, the son of Levi, who bore the ark of the covenant of the Lord, and to all the
Okay.
elders of Israel.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Shi. So here also it says that, so Moses wrote down this. So these three verses, through these three verses, we can understand that, so
Chapter of Deuteronomy.
okay, Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 9. 31, verse 9. So through these verses, we can understand that Moses, has wrote down some, Moses wrote some, or Moses wrote laws. Okay, these are the verses, some of the verses which claims Moses authorship of Pentateuch, from Pentateuch. Okay, these are the direct statements which claims Moses authorship. Are you getting, Sabu? Okay, if you do not understand, please ask. Okay, don't simply,
Ma'am, understood.
Okay.
Excuse me, madam. I didn't get that numbers. Which chapter reference?
Number 31:9. 31. I will write it
Thank you.
chat
Thank you.
box. Oh,
33 verse 2.
yes, 31 verse 2. Okay, these are the direct statements from where?
From Bible.
No, from Bible. But from Bible, the exact division. Where? Where is the yes?
From Pentatuech.
Yes. This is the internal evidence. Internal evidence means from Bible. From Bible, these are the direct statements from Pentateuch. Okay. From Pentateuch. Okay, next one is direct statement from other books except Pentateuch. Okay. Other books means Old Testament. Other books of the Old Testament. Statements from other biblical books. Other biblical books. Which means other books Old Testament except Pentateuch. Okay, can you please read Joshua chapter 8:31? Joshua chapter 8:31. Read fast, okay? We have little time. Joshua 8:31.
As Moses, the servant of the Lord, had commanded the children of Israel, as it is written in the book of the law of Moses, an altar of
Okay.
whole
Yeah.
stones.
So, did you get 8:31? Here it says, as Moses, the servant of the Lord, had commanded the Israelites, he built it according to what is written in the book of the law of Moses. You see that there is some book, right, which was written by Moses, right? So this is the word or the statement which claims Moses or the from other biblical books, not from Pentateuch, but other biblical books in the Old Testament. Okay, other books in the Old Testament. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Other
yes.
words. Okay. Next verse. 2 Kings chapter 14:6. 2 Kings chapter 14, verse 6.
40? No, 14.
No, 14. 14, verse 6.
But the children of the murderers he did not execute according to what is written in the book of the law of Moses, in which the Lord commanded, saying, Fathers
Yes.
shall.
Okay. So you see, yet he did not put the children of the assassins to death in accordance with what is written in the book of law of Moses. Right. There also we can see that some Moses has written down, right? There is a book. Are you getting boring? What is happening to you? Getting boring or getting sleeping or getting interest?
Interesting one.
Really?
It's very stressful.
Okay. Sometimes smile, okay? Don't sit like with the tension. Smile. Be free, okay? We, together we, learn. So be free. Okay. Then next verse is Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 1. There are other verses, but we are taking some specific verses. 1 or 2 or 3 verses. Next is Nehemiah chapter 8, 1.
When the 7th month came, the children of Israel were in their cities. Now all the people gathered together as one man in the open square that was in front of the water gate, And they told Ezra the scribe to bring the book of the law of Moses, which the Lord had
Okay.
commanded Israel.
Yes. So people told to Ezra, bring the book of law of Moses. Right. So through these verses, we can understand that there is a book, there is a law of Moses. So
Nehemiah chapter.
Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 1. 8:1. 8:1, okay. Okay. Did you understand these verses? So these are statements which we can see from other books of the Old Testament about authorship of Moses. Okay. Then next is the statements from New Testament. Statements from New Testament. So when we read New Testament, we can understand that Jesus and the apostles, therefore, the Moses as the author of Pentateuch or author of, okay, Jesus and apostles. So can you please read Gospel of John chapter 5 verse 46. Gospel of John chapter 5 verse 46.
For if you believe Moses, you would be me, for he wrote about me.
Okay, you
For
see,
if,
Jesus says
yeah.
that Moses, has or Moses had written about Jesus, right?
Yes.
So, yes, that means that Moses wrote something, right? Are you
Yeah.
getting? Yes. So then
Yes.
other verses are there claiming, Moses' authorship in the New Testament. For the shortage of time, I'm not going to, tell that verses. So now you understand. Did you understand the internal evidence?
Yes.
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 Okay. In internal evidence, we can see direct statements from Pentateuch, then statements from other books of the Old Testament, except Pentateuch, then statements from New Testament. Did you understand this much? Any doubt?
Okay.
Okay. Then next is external evidences. Okay. External evidences. Okay. In external evidences, the first point or the first evidence is from Jewish tradition. Okay. Jewish tradition claims that Moses as the author of Pentateuch, especially in Talmud and other ancient writings. In Talmud and some of the Talmud and other ancient writings. Talmud and some of the other ancient writings claim Moses as the author of Pentateuch. Talmud. What is Talmud? Any idea? Any idea? What is Talmud?
Talmudic period we hear.
Sorry. One more time, please. Tell Susan.
Last some class that Bijusa told about Talmudic period like that. But
Talmudic.
no,
What is Talmud? What it refers? Any idea? Nishu? Any idea?
Religious text.
So,
Religious
Asha, please
text.
tell.
Religious
religious.
text.
Okay, what type of religious text it is?
Interpretation of
Interpretation of
Mosaic law.
yes. Not exactly interpretation, but it is a written version of the written version of
Can you repeat once again? Ma'am, your mic is.
So Talmud is a written version of the Jewish law.
Excuse me, Jewish?
Law, Jewish law.
Ma'am, is it separate writings? Talmud?
Yes. Yes. That is a book. That is an ancient writing. You know, the content is the written version. This is a written version, writings of Jewish law. Not only Jewish law, we can see some of the teachings of the rabbis. Then, some their teachings. Then their discussions. We can see through Talmud.
Torah?
Sorry?
The Talmuds are connected with the Torah books.
Yes. Correct. Means Talmud is a written version, right, of the Torah, Jewish law. What is Torah? Torah means Jewish law, right? That Jewish law's written version is called a Talmud.
Okay.
You know, in ancient times, these writings happened through the stones and papyrus like that only. But, yes, after some time, writings invented, right? So this is written version of that law. Okay, Jewish. Okay, next is did you understand this point? This Talmud claims that this author of Pentatuech is or was Moses. Okay. I already told you this Talmud not only says about the Jewish law, but we can see some teaching, some discussions about the law, then we can say some customs about Israel people, some ethics, their ethics. These are the things we can see in this Talmud. Okay. Mainly,
okay.
This is written version of the Jewish. Then this Talmud and some other ancient writing claims Moses as the author of Pentateuch. Some other ancient laws, some other ancient writings. Okay, next point is external evidence is church fathers, early church fathers. Some of the early church fathers, they claims that Moses is author of Pentateuch. Like Clement of Rome, Justin Martyr, etc. They also affirm Moses' authorship. Clement of Rome, then Justin Martyr. Okay, some spelling mistake. Okay, Clement of Rome. Okay, I wrote it in chat box, but some spelling mistake is there. Okay. Clement. It is Clement. Clement of Rome and Justin Martyr. These are some of the early church fathers who claimed Moses' authorship. Are you getting second point? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Third and last point is some archaeological findings. Archaeological findings. Archaeological findings. Some archaeology. What is archaeology? What is archaeology? Any idea?
Puravastu.
Yes.
No.
Others. Say in English. Because you know others also are there in our class.
Some antique findings. Antique
Yes.
findings.
Yes, yes. Yes, digging and finding out some things, you know, from early times, right? Abhishek, did you understand? Archaeology, what is archaeology? Yes, finding out all of things, right? Yes. So some archaeological, finding, this people, those who do this archaeology and all, they got tablets and some stones which claims, Moses authorship. Okay. Okay, did you tire? No.
No.
Okay. Interesting to study Pentatuech.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yes, I know you people are very eager to study Pentateuch. Not only Pentateuch, biblical subjects. You want to do ministry, you want to, save many souls, you want to earn knowledge. I know you people are very, very smart. Okay, what are the others? About others, Arsha, Sabu, you are there? Are you there?
Yes.
Yes. What about Pastor Sabu? I think Sabu is not there. Okay, did you understand internal evidence and external evidence? Okay, somebody please rest. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, any doubt from this portion? Internal and external evidences about Moses authorship? Any doubt? Okay, I hope you don't have any doubt. You understood well.
No doubt, ma'am.
Okay,
No doubt.
okay. So these are evidences which claims Moses authorship. We can see evidences from Bible and from outside Bible. Okay. So traditionally it is believed that Moses is author of Pentateuch. So we have enough evidences. But you know, though we have these evidences, still there are some problems. Okay, last class you already shared, you got some idea from other teacher, right? About the authorship of Pentateuch. Some doubts, right? Okay, next we are going to study
Yes, yes.
that portion. Okay? So this is difficult to understand, but I will tell in a briefly. I will this is since it is online mode, so I can't say the full history, but I will make it short for you. Okay. So next we are going to study Pentateuchal criticism. Okay. Or issues related to the authorship of Pentateuch. Issues related to authorship of Pentateuch. Or Pentateuchal criticism. Do you need spell? Please tell, do you need spelling?
Ma'am, Pentateuchal. Spelling.
Pentateuchal criticism. Okay, I will write. Okay, Pentateuchal criticism. I already wrote it in chat box. Okay. Okay. So listen carefully. Okay, this is a brief explanation. This is a vast history, but I will tell you brief. Okay. Okay. By 17th century, people or those who study Pentateuch believe that, or the traditional belief was that Moses as the author of Pentateuch. But up to 16th century. Okay. By 17th century, the traditional belief of authorship of Pentateuch had questioned. Okay. 17th century in Europe, there is something happened. Do you know what happened in 17th century in Europe? Some movements happened. Do you know what is that? Some period.
Protestant movement.
Protestant period, then another
Awakening.
other
Spiritual awakening. Martin Luther.
spiritual awakening. But by the 17th century, we see that enlightenment period, happened in Europe. Have you heard about enlightenment period? Enlightenment. I will write off. Enlightenment period. Okay, what is enlightenment? Any idea? Okay, up to that period, people, believe something blind. Okay, but when enlightenment period happened, people question, to some means, people wanted to know about the reason of everything. Okay, people, scientifically asked question to some. Are you getting?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
Oh, suppose you see Isaac Newton. You know that story, right? Yes. So people scientifically started to think, and people, started to ask reason to everything. Okay. So when this enlightenment period happened, this traditional belief also question. Okay, traditional belief of the authorship of Pentateuch also question. Some of the scholars who read this Pentateuch, they raised some question against Moses' authorship. Okay, are you getting? Okay, why
Yes.
they ask such questions? Because they saw some problems in Pentateuch. Okay, some problems in the Pentateuch. So when you can read about enlightenment period through online, you can take some books and read. Okay, what is happening in enlightenment? Okay, when we read, okay, suppose when we read Gospels, we can see that Jesus walked on the water, right? Right or not? Okay, so we believe that, right? We believe that Jesus walked upon the water. Why do you believe?
because
Why
it's
do you
written
believe
in the
that?
Bible.
Okay, written in the Bible. Others, why do you believe that?
Jesus, his amazing works all the
God
universe.
has Almighty God, He is the creator, so He has the authority over nature and
Oh.
every creature.
Yes, when we read Bible, we have many answers for, because Jesus is the God. He is Almighty. Those who some scholars, they did not believe this blind faith. We are blind believing these things, right? But they did not ready to believe these things, because they need a reason behind that. If this is a example, okay, we say Jesus is God Almighty. That's the reason He walked upon on the water. But this enlightenment period, the scholars, they are not ready to believe blindly, because they need a reason for that. They needed know a reason behind that. Okay, that is situation in happened in Europe 17th century. Okay, as a result, this scholars who read Pentateuch, they also raised some questions against authorship of Pentateuch, because they found out some something which claims, Moses did not write, this Pentateuch. Okay. Are you getting?
Yes, ma'am.
Any difficulty to understand?
Yeah, little bit.
Yes, this Pentateuch criticism is, it's little difficult because but I am making very short, very easy, simple. Okay. Okay. So why this scholar says that Pentateuch is not written by Moses? What is the reason?
After
That
his
is
death.
what we are.
Death.
Okay, you tell. What is the reason?
After death of Moses, who write all these things like that? After his death, who wrote all the things after the death also marked in the Bible, no? Then
Okay, very good, very good. Okay. So the book of Deuteronomy, we see that the death of the Moses also written down, right? So after his death, who wrote about Moses' death? Right? We will come to that point. Okay, there are some evidences which challenges Mosaic authorship. Okay, we have enough evidence which claims Moses' authorship. At the same time, we have some evidences which challenges Moses' authorship. Okay, are you understanding? The first point is no mention of the author. First point is no mention of the author. Which means that in Pentateuch,
No mention.
no mention of the author. Which means in Pentateuch, we do not see direct mention of Moses as the author of Pentateuch. Okay, direct mention. We do not see direct mention of or direct mention of Moses as the author of Pentateuch. Do you see in Pentateuch anywhere? Is it written Moses as the author of Pentateuch? Do you see any verses or anything? No, we do not see direct mention about Moses' authorship. But we can see something which attributed to Moses' authorship. We already knew that before. Right? Some are the verses or some, verses or something which attributed to Moses' authorship. For example, Exodus 24, verse 4. I think we already read, right? No, can you please read Exodus 24, 4? Exodus 24, 4.
And Moses wrote all the words of the Lord, and he rose early in the morning and built an altar at the foot of the mountain, and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel.
Okay, here it says, Moses then wrote down everything the Lord had said. Right? This is a word, which attributed Moses' authorship. Still, we do not see direct mention of the author. When we look into a New Testament, some of the books, it says that I, the Paul, who written down to you these things, right? There we see that the direct mention of the author. Like the direct mention, we do not see in Pentateuch. Okay? Are you understanding? Nishu,
Yes, ma'am.
Jacob, Akshay, Susan, Abhishek,
Yes,
please
ma'am.
tell. Okay. First point is no mention of the author. Okay, there is no, we do not see it is mentioning Moses is the author of Pentateuch. We do not see such sentences in Pentateuch. Okay. Somebody, mic is on. Can you please mute? Okay, second point is some phrases cannot come from Moses. When we read Pentateuch, we see some phrases which cannot come from Moses, or the scholars in the 17th century who says that some phrases cannot come from Moses. For example, Deuteronomy chapter 34:6. Can you please? Deuteronomy chapter 34:6.
And he buried him in Moab, in the valley opposite Beth Peor. But to this day, where is his grave? Where his grave is?
Enough. Did you see the word? Here it says, he buried him. Who buried him? Who buried? God buried Moses in Moab. And next sentence says, but to this day, no one knows where his grave is. Do you see? So when we read this verse, but to this day or until this day, scholar says that that word cannot, or that word, did not come from Moses. Now, after Moses' death, who will write like that? Up to this day, no one knows Moses' grave. Where is Moses' grave? How can Moses write this? So, scholar says that this sentence, this phrase, come from some other people, not from Moses, not from Moses' time also. This phrase comes from some other later than Moses. Okay. Are you getting this point? Okay, very good. So that is the phrase which is not come from Moses. Okay, next one is, can you please read Genesis 13:7? Genesis 13:7. So,
Unleavened bread shall be eaten 7 days. Unknown leavened bread shall be seen.
Genesis
Sorry.
13:7. 13:7, not 30, 13:7.
And there was a strife between the headsman of Abraham.
And
Abraham
quarreling
livestock.
13:7.
And quarreling arose between Abraham's herders and Lot's. The Canaanites and the Perizzites were also living in the land at that time.
Okay, so here it says, and quarreling arose between Abraham's herders and Lot. The Canaanites and Perizzites were also leaving the land at that time when the Canaanites were in the land. Okay, at that time when this quarreling happened, at that time, these Canaanites and Perizzites were, leaving at the land. Okay, you see that phrase? That means when the author was writing this Genesis or this portion, That time, Canaanites and Perizzites was not there in that land. Are you getting? Ashish, are you getting?
Under persons.
Okay, okay. Please, you can read one more time that verse. Careful. No need to read, loudly. You read yourself. Then think it is correct or not. Read yourself. Silently. Okay, understand.
Moses not there at
Yeah.
that time.
Means that, when this writing was happening, at that time, Canaanites and Perizzites was not there in the land. Okay. That echo, that means, right? Here it says, when the quarreling happened, Canaanites they were in the land. That means when this writings was happened, they were not in the land. Okay. That means this phrase comes from not Moses, somebody else. Okay. Are you understanding? Any doubt? Any doubt from this point? Sabu, where were you? I called you, Pastor Sabu, but you did not respond. In between, something happened. Okay. You're muted. Okay. From this point, any doubt? Did you understand this point nicely?
No.
Okay.
Didn't.
Ma'am, in that land,
Okay. Okay. Think, please listen. Here it says, when this Lot's and Abraham servants were quarreling, that time Canaanites were there in that land. That means that when this author was writing these writings, that time Canaanites were not there in the land. Okay. You see, is there, think little, use your brain. You see, the Canaanites and Perizzites were also living in the land at that time. That means at that time they were living, but this time when the author was right, that time Canaanites were not in that land. Are you getting?
ma'am, that means Canaan is they are living there, so Moses was not there. That is meaning.
No, what
Since
the scholars are trying to, what this Moses, the scholars are trying to, prove that actually this words, this sentence, that is, if Moses were writing, Moses would write, Canaanites were in the land. This is from others. That's why he or she wrote like this. Okay, that time Canaanites were in the land, but this time they were not in the land. Okay, that means this is not come from Moses, some other people. Because Moses' time Canaanites were there, right? Because Israel people they, which was the promised land?
Canaan.
Canaan.
Yes. So Canaanite people were living in that land, right? Yes. So it means that this phrase not come from Moses, some other people. When he was writing that time, Canaanites were not there in the land. Okay. Are you getting this? A little difficult, but think, use your brain. Still doubt? Only this much. When the book was actually written, that time Canaanites were not in land. Okay. I don't know how.
Yes,
Yes.
they do to the land.
Mm. Mm. Any doubt from today's topic? Say the truth. Did you understand nice? You understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we are exceeded the time. So please tell any doubt. Don't go with the doubt, okay?
No, ma.
Okay.
Clear.
Everyone.
Yes.
Okay, don't fear and don't hesitate to ask your doubt. Okay, you can. Okay, I hope you understood. Okay,
Yes.
I suggested one book for you to read, right? Did you get that book from online?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
What about others?
which book, ma'am?
Okay. For newcomers, I will tell the book name. Herbert Wolf. Herbert Wolf. I will write it in chat box. Author name is Herbert Wolf. Okay, this is the author name. I already wrote it chat box. Book name is An Introduction to the Old Testament Pentateuch. Okay, I already wrote it chat box. Okay. Herbert Wolf, An Introduction to the Old Testament Pentateuch. You can read this book. This is an academic book. You can read. In that book, this Pentateuchal criticism is written. That history is written. Okay. Explanation.
Yes.
Okay. So if you have any doubt, you can ask next class. Okay. You said no doubt, but I'm telling if you have any doubt, you can ask next class. I believe you understood today's class. Authorship of Pentateuch, both internal evidence, external evidence, the Pentateuchal criticism, the challenges of Mosaic authorship. There are some other things also we deal next week. Okay. All are okay. Somebody please respond.
Okay.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Are you understanding? Are you understanding my class?
Yes.
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. We will wind. Pastor Sabu, can you please pray and wind up this class? Your mic. Okay. I think I didn't hear nicely. Okay. What about others?
I too. I didn't
Oh,
hear.
yes.
Okay. I think some network problem. Sabu, we didn't hear. Okay. So no problem. Thank you, Sabu, for the prayer. Okay. Okay. We will see you. We will meet next week. Okay. We will continue next
Okay.
week. God bless you all.
Yes.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
night. Okay. Good night.
Thank
Thank you, ma'am.
God bless you.
Okay. Okay.